like? What's politics like in that county?
Well, Benton County is probably the second or third most liberal county in Oregon, so it's a challenging place to be when you're a conservative. But we do have an excellent candidate for Benton County Commissioner, which is Jerry Jackson. And he is running a very good race against another non-incumbent challenger.
Oh.
And so he has a good shot at the office.
Does typically all liberals get elected historically?
The last
lately?
20 years in Benton County, there has been no conservative county commissioner.
Okay. And as far as the other offices, the senates and the congressman, I guess that just kind of goes over all the other, or representative. How
we
about
also
that?
have Senate District 8, Betsy Close. She's an incumbent, and she would do a great job. We'd need to keep her in the Senate. We have a challenger for House District 16, Jacob Van Dever, who's running a good race as well, and he's up against a non-incumbent as well. So all the way around, we have one incumbent, Betsy Close, who's got a good chance of holding on to her seat, and then we have two challengers against other non-incumbent challengers. So that's really a good mix for us. Yeah.
So it's mostly liberal. What are kind of the hot button issues in your area?
Well, the current county commissioners for a number of years have been focused a lot on habitat preservation and a number of other special interests, protecting river frontage. And so it really boils down to land use issues for most folks. Recently, the city of Adair Village, for example, attempted to expand their urban growth boundary, and they were met with resistance by the county. So,
are people there aware of Agenda 21?
Yes. Yeah.
Has that helped?
I wouldn't say that the general populace is, but the Republican Party in Benton County is very up on Agenda 21.
Okay. Have they been able to talk about that, get it out there in the newspaper, anything like that? Or is it just so liberal it's deafening?
There's been a few letters to the editor. I wouldn't say that it's created any waves in Benton County. It's a very, very liberal county.
Are you prepared, if people from Benton County are watching, are you prepared to just share what Agenda 21 is right now off the top of your head?
No.
There's a lot to it.
There's a lot of nuances, and there's folks in Benton County that are much more on top of it and have a lot greater level of expertise than I would.
Yeah, so for those who don't know about it, basically it's the UN agenda trying to take over U.S. sovereignty, and they do it locally through land use and different people. And some people who are actually, they truly do care about the environment, but it's taken to such an extreme that it will take away private property rights. And it all sounds almost like a big conspiracy theory, except that they have a website and they talk about it. And the Obama administration is very into it, and it's really weaved its way largely in the Democratic Party and even to, some what they call moderates in the Republican Party. So my advice is not to vote for anybody unless they understand Agenda 21, because they need that information and knowledge to, put the brakes on.
Yeah.
So
I would say that Jerry Jackson and Betsy Close both have a pretty strong understanding of it because they talk about it when they're giving speeches or doing debates or so.
Okay. That's good. Well, let's start at the top then as far as candidates go, and then we're going to go to ballot measures.
Okay.
You said there's 7 ballot measures that we'll get to from whether it be Oregon or down to the county level in Benton. So just in case somebody has their ballot measure, we'll just kind of start at the top. Governor.
Well, obviously Dennis Richardson. We should all be voting for Dennis Richardson.
Yep. You know him?
I know him, yes, and he's a great guy.
Yep.
He is a strong fiscal conservative, and he is...
he's a strong social conservative too, isn't he?
Yeah, actually he is. He's very articulate, and he's very open to listening, but he doesn't compromise, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So people don't, he doesn't put people off when he talks about both fiscal and social issues.
Yeah, and I heard he's just incredibly wise and able to take the other point of view and try to, without compromising, try to tweak things a little bit to where, you know, there's some common ground there too,
Yes,
which we need that without compromise.
exactly. He doesn't compromise to the point of crossing the aisle himself, but he definitely knows how to reach out and build rapport and build consensus. And that's incredibly important. If you look at our current governor, that's not happening.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go with U.S. Senate then.
Monica Webby against Jeff Merkley. I think it's probably clear to everybody that Merkley needs to go.
He's too on board with what Obama's doing.
95%, probably 97% of the time he's voting with Obama and carrying the water for Obama. He just today he voted against the First Amendment, you know, with the Senate decision, and just as did Wyden, as you can imagine. And so
Why?
this idea that they can control politics through changing the First Amendment is a very scary proposition. And so Monica definitely would come down on the right side of that issue.
Yeah, and you know, I always like to point out, you know, people who do watch this show, you know, some people do really care about spiritual issues and pro-life, and I'm very pro-life and very, I don't like to vote, like I didn't vote for Monica Webby.
In the primary.
In the primary, yeah.
Right.
Because I voted for the most conservative candidate. And, you know, it bothers me every time I would vote for somebody who's not pro-life. I heard that she's kind of probably not, she doesn't stand real hard on that position anyway. But,
yeah, it's challenging in Oregon, being such a liberal state, for any conservative candidate to take a position. You know, they have to keep their base, and but they also have to, in order to be elected, bring over some of the Democrats and a majority of the independents.
yeah.
And so it does make it challenging. I'm not saying that they should compromise, obviously, but it is a very difficult position.
Yeah, well, you know, and I never know why Republicans vote for the compromise. I mean, there's a lot of great conservative Republicans that liked her a lot, and like her a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't. But they're conservative. Ben Carson, I think he was supportive of her.
Yeah, he came out.
Like him a lot. Yeah, yeah. Now maybe that's why she got such a boost.
Yeah, I mean, every candidate, I think, especially one that's new to office or new, not an incumbent, such as Monica or even Dr. Carson, they have to learn how to address and present issues in a way that is consistent with their belief and how they would vote if they were elected into office, and not compromise and with the platform of the party. And that's a real challenging area right now because every candidate in Oregon is against the odds. So
yeah, how do you see things with the extreme Marxist position, if I can say that, it's true, that Obama takes on things, and people, you know, Democrats siding with these communist positions. People aren't.
You know, it's I see this a lot in the party is that, and outside the party, is that the word socialism, for example, is they don't know what to do with it because the majority of people in Oregon almost look, because of, I believe, because of our educational institutions and how kids have been brought up, is they've come to the point where they actually accept socialism and the premise of socialism, and they don't understand the dangers and they don't understand the history.
Yeah.
And of course that makes them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say low information voters, but poorly informed voters.
Yeah, yeah, that in the media, you know, and I would just beg people who tend to listen too much to the media. I mean, Hollywood, they're fine with it. they're fine. Anything goes with the media unless you're a Christian that cares about morals, then you're the devil. But I would just beg people to look up history and communism and socialism and how that's, it takes over a nation and how it destroys a nation.
It's insidious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nobody will be happy except the few, the one percenters. The one percenters aren't going to share their wealth.
And what's
That's not
interesting
what
is
they do.
that the 1% starts at $300,000 a year.
Uh-huh.
So everybody below $300,000, $300,000 a year is not a 1%er.
Yeah, so we're all going to have to, suffer all the consequences. Everybody's going to go downhill. Just,
Yep.
Take a big, huge step back. Okay, I guess moving on then. U.S. Congressman?
Let's see, in my district, that would be Tootie Smith against Kurt Schrader. And of course, every one of these incumbents that are Democrats, we need to replace. Because in effect, by the way they vote, either with Obama or towards the socialist agenda, they're harming our country.
Yeah. And so Tootie Smith, how is she in line with conservative values?
She's strong. She's probably the one I'm least familiar with. She was a county commissioner, and so she has a record of voting. Unlike most of the other folks that are up that are not incumbents, she has some experience in office and understands how to relate to her constituents and how to pursue conservative values
Okay.
in office.
So most conservatives would be happy with her then?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next? I guess next we're getting now more into the Oregon. Those are U.S. The Oregon seats.
Let's see. We've covered Dennis Richardson for governor, and we've covered Monica Webby for Senate, and we have Greg Walden's up for U.S. Congress. Again, he's an incumbent.
Oh, right, against Jason Yates. Or wait, I'm sorry.
No, Jason's in a district, legislative district.
Yeah.
Congressman Walden is the incumbent, and his challenger is, I'm not sure.
You know what?
I'm not sure.
I usually come really prepared, but I'm dropping the ball on this one.
I guess I haven't thought about much about it because his seat's secure, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. So let's. Do you like him, by the way? He's a great guy, isn't he? That's from what I heard.
Yeah. He covers the east side, and he's well liked, and has a leadership position in the House, and has done a good job, and yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, how about more of the Oregon seats?
Oh my.
That are from your county. I think you've already mentioned them, but just kind of.
Jacob Van Dever is running for House District 16.
Okay.
In my district.
Okay. Good conservative or?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's young conservative.
Okay.
Energetic, and he's up against someone who has not been in office before.
Okay. So it's a good shot.
Good chance, yeah. I don't think that there will be a lot of money put into that race, but from on either side.
Okay.
But he's got a good shot.
All right. Who's next from that area?
That pretty much is as far as Benton County. That's pretty much.
Okay. You talked about a few.
We have we have the north end of Benton County is in House District 23, and we have Mike Neerman running. Who's from Polk County.
Right. Yeah.
So he would also be in a Benton County district.
Great.
Part of
yeah, and he's supposed to be here in a couple weeks.
Good.
So
Good.